What's going on, everybody? Simon Says Crypto here. In this video, we're pretty much going over what I'm going to start calling IBC Prep. We're prepping ourselves to learn these mechanics that we're going to be doing in the background when we are practicing and utilizing the infinite banking concept. And we're working towards getting getting everything down, getting ourselves into a position to get our first whole life or dividend paying whole life insurance policy. But before we get it, we need to learn how the banking functions work, and we need to figure out how is that going to work in our lives. So I thought that I would just create this series really to help out the individual that is kind of like myself in the sense of paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you're working two jobs. Maybe you're really feeling strapped. So one of the first things that is really imperative that I really tried to touch on in the last video was, where's your cash going? Where's the cash flow going? And how do we retain some of that cash flow for ourselves? An example of retaining cash flow is, of course, pay yourself first, no less than 10% every paycheck. But maybe you don't feel like you can do that. Okay, maybe you're just like, Simon, that's not happening. And that's okay. It's not happening today, but I want to get you there so you can do it tomorrow. But today I'm going to talk briefly about or touch on my monthly liabilities. Okay, so this is, you got monthly liabilities. What are liabilities? Anything that costs you money, that's a liability. A liability means it's non-income producing, right? It doesn't do anything for you except get you through your day. And I'm not belittling that. Everybody's got to eat, right? And sometimes that's all we can do. And I've been there and I know that struggle. But I was always looking for a way to do just enough so I could retain a little bit. And that's a day-to-day battle sometimes. Then it can become a week-to-week or paycheck-to-paycheck battle. Most of us understand the paycheck-to-paycheck. So anyways, I'm going to share that with you, my monthly liability sheet, because I want you guys to do this. I really do, because it helped me. If it helped me, I know it can help you. Also, we're going to talk about the 4-week rule today as well. Okay, so let's get into it. First, I'm going to share that liability sheet and then the 4-week rule, and that'll be enough information for you folks to digest. So let me just share my monthly liability sheet. And this really helped me get a perspective on my cash flow. Where's all my money going? How come I don't have no money at the end of the pay cycle? Like, what's going on? How come everybody's getting papered up and I'm the one that's got nothing in my pockets, right? Well, a lot of that was my own choices, and through my frustration of I know where all my money goes. I know where it goes. I have a mortgage payment. I got to pay rent. I got insurance. Blah blah. Like, we all know like the things we pay for, but when we write it down, we're able to identify holes in the boat, right? So let's try to plug some holes in the boat, or maybe just throw some things overboard that we're like, hey, I'm not using this. All right, so let's go over this here real quick. So monthly liability sheet. Liability, I put that word there on purpose, not budget. Liabilities, things that cost me money and I'm getting no return on the money, right? That's going to help you guys change your perspective and your mindset out there. So, got my mortgage right there. Yeah, that's expensive. Netflix and chill, garbage. Got my union dues. And, Amazon Prime. And I want to focus right here for a moment. You notice it says Cash App. Well, Cash App has a card, and I've been trying to transfer things over to different cards as opposed to coming out to my main bank account. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm trying to reclaim some of the banking function, right? I get to say when that money goes to that place. So by allowing Amazon to go to the Cash App, I'm the one that puts money over there when I'm ready to put money over there, not just when Amazon's ready to take it out. Even though Amazon will take it out, I'm trying to at least give me the control of the banking function at that level. I get to load the Cash App when it's my time. Until then, I'm not loading anything on Cash App. And what I've done there is I've retained my control of the liquidity. I got cell phones, Amazon Prime, Lig. We're not going to go into that. Another cell phone, internet, right? Planet Fitness. I kind of just drive by, don't really go in. So that's something that I could trim. Actually, I could trim that off, right? Trimming the fat. The dog's food. Here's my monthly payment for the insurance. My dividend paying whole life insurance policy. That's my minimum obligation. Here's my bill for the power company. Also auto insurance, trading view, because y'all be knowing I'm into crypto. A loan that I have with another institution. Also, here is my monthly payment for my IBC policy and my cash loans. And I'm going to touch on that cash loan part because we are trying to get ourselves into the position and to get our whole life dividend paying whole life insurance policy. And then we got Amazon audibles down there as well. Now, if you noticed, I've literally written out the date when these things are due or when they come out. Even though it might be due on a date, maybe it comes out a little later. So that's up to you of how you would like to do that. I just went with the due date of when my account's going to get hit or when those accounts are going to get hit. And that's really helped me too. Just having this paper out. Like I literally will print this out. In fact, I got one right here. I'll print this out. Let's see if I can just add it onto the screen. I will print this out. And let's get rid of that for a second. Make use solo. Boom. Boom. I'll print it out and I will cross things off as I go along. I'll cross them out one by one. Just paid it, or it came out. Okay. So after you guys got this will really help you to see where your money's going. Big time. Okay. I've also I've accounted for monthly gas and monthly. I'm doing 28 days. We'll get into that in a second. My monthly food. And I got the highs and lows depending on what vehicle I drive, Yasui or the truck. By the way, for all you that don't know what Yasui means, it means cheap in Japanese. You might laugh at that, but it's far cheaper for me to drive the Yasui than it is the truck. So by doing that, I've trimmed some fat and now I've retained capital because I drive a different car, right? It's cheaper on gas. Okay. So that in a quick nutshell is the monthly liability sheet. Write your stuff down. Write it down. I'm telling you, it'll help you. But you notice here I said 28 days, a 28-day period. Okay. And that's a good segue into the 4-week rule. And this is my calendar that I use for the 4-week rule. And I'm just going to go solo here. And hopefully that'll clear up in just a moment. I know you guys really can't see that too much. It should clear up in just a moment. But as you can see with my not as good as a doctor's signature on a prescription handwriting, I have written down week 1, week 2. You can see right there, week 2, week 3, week 4, and then I start over week 1, right? So that's 28 days. 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. 4 times 7 is 28. And I do apologize for not being able to see that stuff on the screen. Bad internet day, I guess. So I do apologize for that. I know you can't see it right here, but I've also taken the liberty of writing down how many days of work I should be receiving on this Friday from the previous week. An example, let's move on to week 2 here. So I worked all these days, right? So I should be receiving a 5-day paycheck. I worked all these days, I should be receiving a 5-day paycheck. I worked all these days, I should be receiving a 5-day paycheck, and so on and so forth. But wait, Right here, we got Thanksgiving coming up. I got those 2 days off. I'm only working 3 days. So on the next payday, you can see here I have 3 days written. And I know it's not clear on the camera. I do apologize, everybody, but I'm just trying to help drive some things home to get you to conceptualize things that are going on. So I live by a 4-week rule. And the reason why I started doing this was because the shortest month of the year is February, and it's 28 days. If we're lucky, we get 29. You can totally implement the 4-week rule in any pay structure. And I say that, except actually, I should say not any. I mean, you can, but how it's been working for me, the only ones that really that this does not actually benefit is the you receive a certain amount of money once a month, 12 months, a year, right? Doesn't matter how many months are in the day, that's what you get, right? So maybe an example, Social Security, an annuity payment, etc., right? That's what you get, right? But for everybody else, everybody that I'm really trying to speak to, that paycheck to paycheck individual, you can implement the 4-week rule into this protocol or into your life. You can enter this protocol into your life. Why is this beneficial, Simon? Because if you use your weakest month, right, your shortest month, where you're scrambling around to pay all your bills in 4 weeks, then essentially you can do that in all the others. But what's beneficial about all the other months, at minimum, you get 2 extra days. Some months you get 3 extra days of pay that's worked in there. Sometimes it's not the pay, sometimes you don't work all those days or not. But what ends up happening if you just did the 4-week rule and you paid your bills accordingly based off your liability sheet every 28 days, by the time you get to the end of November, you have all your funds for December. You literally have them. You literally leapfrog a month. You understand what I'm saying? I'll show you on the next video. I'll show you what I mean by that. That's the liability sheet. Start writing your stuff down. It's very important. Start accounting for where all your money goes. And again, looking in the mirror, not a fun thing, right? Not a fun thing. But the more you know, if you know what's going on, you'll know what to do. So the more you know where your money is going, you'll know what to do. You can literally look at this, go, you know what? Planet Fitness, hey, I'm sorry. I haven't touched you in 6 months, dude. I'm out. Y'all got me for 6 times $21. That's $120. Right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, 12. Yeah, $120. That just went somewhere else. I could have put that in policy. I could have set that on the side in my savings and done something else with it. Okay. 4-week rule. That's just a little taste of it. I'm really going to be harping on this, really diving into deep of what all the benefits are. Okay. I know this is a little long video, but there you go. So your goals are to, well, sorry, my phone's going off. Your goals are to create a monthly liability sheet, write everything down, and then go out and get a calendar, a big one, and save it for the next video, because I'm going to show you again of how we're just going to do the 4-week rule on the calendar. It's really going to help you out. It's going to help you be accountable. And as a banker, we have to be accountable. We have to know everything that's going on. We need full transparency with the flow of our cash. All right. Y'all be good. These are the deuces, and I'm Cabooses. Y'all take care.